So, this is a nice way to start a video. Let's wreck someone. Now, of course, we're not going to do that. But if we do get into our wrestling time machine and we do go back in time, because what else are we going to do with it, we can revisit one of the craziest stories in wrestling that certainly deserves talking about. Now, when we do talk about the title of this video, The Worst Wrestler Ever, actually, that's going to be completely dependent on your brain. Like, there are some wrestling fans out there who say really odd things like Jon Moxley is the worst wrestler they've ever seen. And you do you, man. But as far as I'm concerned, that's bonkers. He carried a company for like 2 years. He's very good at what he does. Because sports entertainment is essentially a dance though, and it takes two to tango, there was an occasion where we did put two people in the ring to see what a brand new rookie could do. And he did so well, apparently, everybody started going crazy about him. His name was Tom Magee. Now, we go all the way back to 1986 for this, but yeah, as soon as Vince McMahon saw Tom Magee and a certain match he had with one Bret the Hitman Hart, he actually started to tell his inner circle, well, lads, it's time to move on from Hulk Hogan, because this guy is gonna take his spot. I am not kidding. For you see, Tom did so good in his match against the Hitman, everybody was going absolutely nuts. And also, look at the guy. This is not to take anything away from Hulk Hogan when it comes to his physique, but Mr. Magee here was more ripped, and you could probably argue was way more athletic, so it was like taking all the good we did have and timesing it by 10. In case you're not good at maths, these are the kind of sums you want. He also had tremendous hair, which kind of upsets me a little bit. So on the 7th of October, they were like, well, look, let's put him out there with Bret and see what he can do. This is the reason that it has gone down in history. Because when all the smoke and dust had cleared, everyone went, well, had nothing to do with Thomas. This was all about the Hitman. But this does tie into the madness about how people climbed to the top, because Bret Hart was just ignored for ages. And the way that I always like to put it is that even though Hulkamania may have dragged you into wrestling, it was guys like Bret that kept you there. And his shtick was all about making it as realistic as possible and putting so damn much emotion and story into the match. And there's a reason he did eventually become the WWF champion, because talent will always rise to the top. And it's why this match became the stuff of legend too, because nobody knew how to flub and watch it. Like, was it recorded? Was it not recorded? Was it hidden in just someone's basement because they didn't want us to see it? We needed answers, damn it, and we weren't getting them. One day, however, Bret's archivist, Mary Kay Anthony, would come across the tape, and they digitized it. And it got everybody so excited. Do you know what WWE did on the network? They turned it into a mini documentary. So they got it too. So while this was this rhetoric that maybe Magee did have all the tools, but after a while he just lost his way, which is the case with many a wrestler, actually turned out it wasn't very good. Like, it wasn't super bad. When you take everything and you put it in a pot, well, it's kind of hard to argue. I mean, essentially he just got in the ring with the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, who sprinkled all his magic dust over him before ultimately he got found out. Basically though, Hart had been told, you have to make this guy look damn good. So not only did he hurt himself pillar to post, but even when he was taking bumps, it was like he had been shot. Like at one point I was looking for a gun because I was worried. He also reacted in awe when Magee started doing cartwheels and backflips, as did all of the crowd. And to be fair, like a backflip is really hard to do. If I tried to do a backflip right now, you wouldn't see the rest of this video because I'd be in the hospital with my neck broken. It's not funny. Now, it is a fascinating watch today because wrestling has changed, and if you are a fan of any tenure, you can actually see this happening in the ring. I mean, we're just more aware of what a mega worker is in 2023, and while, yes, kayfabe was already broken back in the 80s, it was still stronger than it is now, so many people just accepted what they were seeing at face value. And even when Magee hits a sweep kick, Bret Hart goes down like, oh, that's it, I'm never getting up. And actually, at times, you can see Hart kind of carrying him through it, like going, Tom, you're not doing it right now, follow me. This is absolutely one of the reasons why any aspiring wrestler should watch this match. You see a ring general in action, well, it's kind of damn beautiful. No, I shouldn't have said it. Now, I don't know whether Tom had been instructed to do this either, but when Bret starts punching him, he totally no-sells it. Now, that could have been an accident. However, when he is on the floor and Bret is going to go for his padded elbow drop, do you know why he can't hit it? Because Magee starts rolling away. And I was like, okay, well, I'm sure that's a mistake. But later on, when Bret is meant to miss a move, do you know why he accidentally hits it? Because old Tommy Boy is rolling the other way, so they collide together. And that's when you know, it's like, I don't really think he knows what he's doing. And I suppose that could just be a human brain doing what human brains do when you are worried. But then you do get to Magee throwing some punches. Once again, you're like, man, I don't know what that was. Maybe I should rewind it and watch it again. But before you do that, you gotta check out the finish. Because even almost 40 years ago, the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up, was still the way. Tom McGee puts this on Bret Hart. There is no pressure, there is no force, there is no strength, to the point the Hitman has to kind of wiggle himself into position so it actually looks capable of getting the 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's just such an absolute wonderful mess. And also, you can find Tom McGee versus Arn Anderson on Ted DiBiase. And that's when this will really become an eye-opener, because you're like, hell man, Bret Hart did a tremendous job. Those matches aren't very good. And yes, it was around this time when management realized they had made a big mistake and probably they should keep Hulk Hogan around. But I do want to point this out. Wrestling is super duper hard. Not everybody can do it, and if they could do, we wouldn't watch it, because it wouldn't be impressive to begin with. Also, quite clearly what happened here is that people had got too excited about it, so rather than pushing him as fast as we did, we should have sent him to a training school and allowed him to get some education under his belt. I do want to give all the credit in the world to McGee, though, because this dude is just the best. He has done countless interviews about it, and he just goes, yeah, I probably wasn't ready, but I was put on a spot, and I wanted to take the most of my opportunity. And well, I didn't. And everybody does deserve to be put in that position at least once to see if they can sink or swim. And Edge said that to Grayson Waller recently. This one just didn't work out. What are you gonna do? I still do think deep down in my tum-tum that if we had just given him a few more months to practice all of this, he would have become better. And also, doesn't it just underline that WWE hasn't changed at all? We were gonna push Tom McGee because he had the look. And who's on top of the company right now? It's Mr. Roman Reigns. Now that is a completely different scenario because Roman is going to go down as one of the best ever, and I mean it. But we all remember the early years when we tried and we failed and we tried and we failed. And I suppose that is a testament to McMahon to keeping it going. But for a while there, well, it kind of sucked. But also, when we do put that back into the cauldron, does that mean we could have been right about Tom McGee too, but we just moved too fast? I mean, no. The answer is no, but I posed a question, and I want you to answer it in the comments. But you can't do it unless you've seen the match, don't be that guy. On that note, though, I would implore you to go out of your way to check it out if you are a wrestling fan, because it's just fun, and make sure you watch the mini documentary as well. You'll shake your head and you'll say to yourself, how did this sport ever exist in the first place? It is run by crazy people. And when you are done in those comments, make sure you do click the video on the screen as well. It will be another editorial by me as I wave my arms and say crazy things. Well, that sounds fun, doesn't it? And you can like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com, where I suppose if there's other terrible wrestlers, a terrible thing to say, we'll tell you about them, and we're on social media. Simon316. What Culture WWE. My name is Simon for What Culture. Thank you very much for watching me as always. And in case Tom McGee ever does see this, I still massively respect you, man. I just do. I think anyone that puts themselves out there and tries hard deserves a pat on the back like Barry Horowitz. So you do you, man. I love you. See you soon.